Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome, Soars, Philos, and friends, rowers, and rosebuds. How are you, Sigma Gents? How are you? Welcome to the latest edition of Captivating Conversations. As you can see, I changed the background just a little bit. We did reverse for our last 3 episodes because, we have 3 very important special people that are on the guest, that are guests on the show for these last 3 episodes. So I just wanted to give them a little some extra. My name is Sora Lauren T. Bates, life member number 1704, Centennial Anti-Basileus of Zeta Zeta Sigma chapter, which is in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And today, as you can see, we have our very special guest, our second grand Anti-Basileus, Sora Taylor Allen, who became a member spring 19 in the Mu Beta chapter, which is the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. She recently graduated as of May 22nd, so kudos to her and congratulations on that, with her degree in business analytics and supply chain management, which is something that we all know America is struggling with today. So greetings, Madam Second Grade, and welcome to Captivating Conversations. Woo,
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm so happy that you were able to take time out of your schedule to come on the show today. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so we are going to jump right in. Since she recently graduated as of a few days ago, what is your next step, or what are you looking forward to most after or since you've graduated?
I'm really looking forward to the possibility of travel. So I've already scheduled a few trips around the country for this summer, obviously including our super, super special Boulé celebration in July. I am planning to go to New Orleans in June. I'm planning to go to Miami with my brother as a graduation gift to go see Rolling Loud, which I've never been to a concert before. So that'll be a big jump as far as our first concert.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll most definitely be very shocking. I'm already anticipating it. So I'm getting my travel out because I know once I really sit down and get in the corporate level, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So that's my big plan. I'm really looking forward to being able to travel, get out of the country whenever possible and just see the world.
I gotcha. Well, if you don't have your passport already, just go ahead and cop that because international travel is amazing. It definitely opens up your worldview. It's just like people be like, oh, well, other countries, this is how, whatever. You don't know until you go somewhere. So I love to travel, and that's been a topic of conversation on this show, several episodes. I love to travel, and I love to travel outside of the US because you get to see just how things are really in the world and not just in America. So kudos to you on that. New Orleans, enjoy. If you love seafood, that is a great place for you to visit.
I'm super, super excited for New Orleans.
They have amazing restaurants in the French Quarter, amazing restaurants all throughout New Orleans. When I went, I had a blast. It was a really good time. So shout out to all the stores in New Orleans, in the, greater New Orleans area. It's a lot of fun. It's a great place to be. And the music, if you love music, it's just live music everywhere. Just literally people will just pop up on the street and start playing instruments.
I'm super excited.
So enjoy it for sure. What is your dream career?
My dream career has really always been owning my own business.
Okay.
Obviously over the years it's changed in views. From a child wanting to run a pet focused business as some kind of veterinarian dog sitting, then to recently kind of looking more into utilizing my degree for consulting for businesses, focusing on small businesses and Black owned businesses, because I know financial literacy is a hard concept to kind of get a head around. I still struggle with it. But wanting to kind of focus and give back to my community and ensuring that, our businesses are getting the proper care, getting the proper, consulting, the proper mentorship throughout startup phases to building it into whether it's an LLC, a corporation. However, it needs to look, that's my main focus, is to be able to build up that type of consulting company to give back to the community around me.
Okay, I'm here for it. So y'all hear that, all y'all entrepreneurial soarers out there, let's help build her. Let's build each other because we can grow together and we do better together. So, hit her up and say, hey, this is my field. This is what I'm already working in, and see how we can collab. She's just started her career. If you're established and you've been in your career for a while and you live in the area, or not, because everything can be done obviously through Zoom, Google Meets, whatever, Facebook, anything, everything. So, that's all I'm saying. Each one reach one, teach one. Okay. That's an old slogan. I'm showing my age just a little bit. But that's part of the sisterhood. So we should be able to lean on each other and help each other out. So I like that is a part of your focus, is to be able to support Black businesses and entrepreneurs and things like that, because we need that. Financial literacy is a real thing that is lacking in the African American community for multiple reasons, which we don't have to get into, but it is something that we definitely need to focus on to bring us up to speed to where everybody else is in the country. Yes. So I'm here for it. What do you like to do in your free time?
I am a big reader. When I have time to read. This semester I've kind of loaded up on getting everything done at the last minute, so my coursework is a little heavier. So I don't really have the free time to kind of read what I want to read, but when I do, that's my big that's one of my big favorite things to be able to do. I always keep a book by my couch, because I get up way too early to be up for a class, because I have really bad time anxiety. I feel like I'm always running late somewhere or I'm forgetting something. So I get up way too early. So in the mornings, I just, get to read a little bit, get to start my day off like that. And I really enjoy playing soccer. I won't say I'm athletic whatsoever, but it's the thought that counts. Right. And we're having a little visit from my cat, my son. But I really enjoy soccer and having a good time with friends and family, but most definitely reading. I try to get through at least one book per month. Okay. So. That's good. Now, since you mentioned it, and I meant to bring this up earlier, but so Madam Second Grand does have a cat, as you see. His name is Oh Boy, and that's her baby. So that's her fur baby. And if you just see him walking across, just say, "Hey, Oh Boy," and keep it moving, because that's what we're doing here. Now, do you have a favorite genre in the book world, like mystery? It changes very frequently for me. Right now, my big pull towards books is a lot of like self-growth or self-growth. I've been reading a lot of, I can't ever pronounce his name, but the author that wrote The Four Agreements, I've been kind of diving into a lot of his books, and I highly recommend them. They're like, I think The Four Agreements, I got through it in like 2 hours. Oh, wow. Okay. They're very, very short reads. They don't take a lot of, I don't want to say thought. It's very straight to the point, straightforward, and it makes sense, or at least it made a lot of sense to me. So I definitely recommend reading that, like books like that, like The Alchemist. Just a lot of like, I've been reading a book called The Sacred Woman, and it's all about like tapping back into like African fertility, and realigning yourself with, being a powerful woman and accepting it and understanding like the power that we have in our wombs. So it's been really, it's a very long read. I think I've been reading it for like 3 months and I'm just now on page 100.
It's a lot in that book. I don't think I ever
mm-hmm.
finished it. I started it, but I don't think I finished it because it's a
Yeah.
lot going on. I like skim it. I skim, yeah.
It's a lot, but I recommend it to any woman. I've actually, since reading it, I've started my journey on a more vegetarian type diet, a more earthy diet, and I've never felt better. It's a really good book, and it puts a lot of things into perspective about like our health and the things that we put in our body and the way that it's not good for us at all.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's super, super empowering as a Black woman, just to understand like how much we give to the world and how much we bring just from a creative standpoint. I love it. Anybody that is like, what are you reading? I'm like, oh, you need to get this. You need to get this. It's a great book.
Yeah, we carry the world on our shoulders, literally, and we need to stop. Okay.
Exactly.
There's this song called Lullaby. And I can't think of the artist's name right now, but I see the cover art. And it's basically talking about like Black women and how we need to rest and take time for ourselves. And that song is like, the first time I heard it, I think I had to listen to it like 3 or 4 times in a row because it resonated with me so much because, as Black women, we do like everything for everybody except for ourselves, which we need to stop doing that. It's just like Black women save everything. We save the world and we get no thanks. So it's just like, stop saving everybody and everything else and save yourself, essentially. So we need to do more of that self-care before we are like, oh, I'm going to do this for so-and-so and I'm going to do this for so-and-so. How about you do it for yourself?
Yeah.
First.
Yeah. And
let everybody else figure it out for a change.
And it's true too, how like engraved it is in us. Like I was talking to my mom's not a Black woman, but it still holds true. I was talking to her yesterday. We were having a conversation and we were talking about a situation within our family. And I just told her, I was like, I know that you're used to having to solve the problem, but you don't need to. I was like, this, at the end of the day, I was like, I get how you feel about it because we vent to each other a lot. And I was like, I get how you feel about it, but it's not your problem to solve. I was like, if nobody asks you to solve it,
just walk away.
Just step back. Just step back. I said,
just do like this.
I said, you're doing more harm to yourself by trying to fix something nobody asked you to fix. I said, just
exactly.
It's above me.
It's above me now. It's above me now. Just leave it and it'll be fine because I think what a lot of like Black women, I mean, in general, is like, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. And that's not true because somebody else will do it. But then people, especially if you're like a very giving person and you're helpful by nature, like for me, I am a helper by nature. I've always been like this my whole life. I want to help people. That makes me happy, is to help other people. But sometimes I know people ask me to do stuff because they know I'm gonna say yes. And then when I say no, they be like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, I'm not available. So I had to learn that over time. Like, oh no, I can't. No, I'm sorry. I can't do that. I don't say yes to everything anymore. Like I used to say yes to absolutely everything. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. 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 Burnout.
Yes, most
now definitely. I say no to people. They'd be like, well, wait a minute. I knew you were, and it's just like, that's the old me. The new me says no.
Most definitely. And it's so beneficial too to set those boundaries because like me coming out of senior year, like I've realigned myself, but most definitely towards the beginning of this semester, I was facing horrible burnout. Like I had no motivation to go to class. I had no
Mm-hmm.
motivation to just really do anything. I wasn't showing up how I know that I can and how everyone
Mm-hmm.
knows that I can. Because
Mm-hmm.
burnout's real and it's hard to get
Very.
over. Like I'm just now like, and it's the end of the semester, or we're done at this point, and I'm just now getting to where I'm like, okay, let's put this energy back out there, because it's like my body just rejected it. It was like, no, you've given out too much.
Right.
We don't have any more. So burnout is real, and it's
Very.
really tough to experience as someone, like you said, that does give a lot. It's really
Mm-hmm.
tough to experience that, because it's like, I'm not trying to disappoint anybody, but I don't have anything to give at this point because I've just given it all. But burnout is real. So most definitely don't let yourself, that's what I try to tell my chapter members. Like, don't let yourself get to the point like me where like you're having to come back from that.
Right.
Sorry, my cat's biting my computer.
It's fine. You just want to be in the show. It's okay.
He does.
It's
He does.
okay.
Here he comes now. This ain't about you, Bubba. But how to do that? I just don't, if you feel it coming, just start setting those boundaries. People might be upset, in the beginning, but at the end of the day, you have to live in this body, they don't. So
Right. Right.
burnout is not fun whatsoever.
You're right. You're right. And then that leads me to the next question is, how do you balance with sorority life, family life, school life, and then work if you're working? How do you
Mhm.
balance all of those things?
It's tough. I've had to reassess.
Mm-hmm.
So this past fall semester, I did not serve as my chapter president.
Okay.
But for the spring semester, I did. So transitioning into that was very difficult, because I was a big help in the chapter, but I wasn't like the face
Yeah.
as the president, you know what I mean? So like I
Mm-hmm.
could get stuff done in the background and just get stuff done in the background. Like
Right.
everybody knows it's going to get done, but it doesn't have to be done like extravagant, and I have to, I don't know how to really put it into words. But so stepping in as chapter president, that was a big like, okay, this is a workload.
Mm-hmm.
uh, on top of that, with my office within the sorority itself, that's a big workload. Then
Uh-huh.
we're starting to look at graduation, and like I said, my course load this semester is probably the heaviest I've had in all 4 years. So that's something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, I really I'm a big family person. So luckily, my family miraculously during COVID got relocated out to Knoxville with me. My mom took on a job here in Knoxville too, so we're very closer. So that's been a big thing, because I don't have to stress about getting back home to see them and everything, but being able to see them. So it's most definitely been difficult, and working and stuff like that. But I really rely on a calendar. If I tell my mom that all the time. I'm like, if it's not in my Canvas calendar,
It's not happening.
it's not getting done. If it don't make it to the Canvas calendar, it's not getting done, because I have a to-do list on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I like seeing it marked off. But it takes a lot of, I don't want to say discipline, because that makes it seem like you can't have an off day.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just said, I've had a tough semester. I hit burnout hard. But it does take a lot of discipline. It takes, having conversations, open conversations about where you're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, it takes having people in your life that will listen. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I most definitely during this time had to learn, like, I love having an accountability partner, but at the same time, I sometimes just want a friend with some people. So like I've had to learn who's just strictly accountability. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I need somebody to light a fire under me, I know who
Mm-hmm.
to go to for that. But if I just need somebody to just listen to me and speak words of encouragement and tell me,
Mm-hmm.
whenever you get out of this feeling that you're feeling right now and need somebody to help you, let me know. But for right now, I get that you just need somebody to speak it into you.
Right.
So having people like that is most definitely beneficial. Because in the moment you don't want to hear somebody be like, well, yeah, you really could have done that different.
Right.
Like, man,
Right.
You just made it 10 times.
Right. I just need some support right now. That's all
like,
I'm asking you for. Just give me some support.
I didn't need you to kick me while I was down too.
Right.
but yeah, so I definitely recommend having people like that in your corner.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's anything wrong with accountability partners, because I need them, but I just also need somebody that to recognize when I'm in that moment, I don't need to hear what I could have done differently. I just need to hear, well, you learn from it. So where are you going to go from here?
Right.
So most definitely, and just discipline, and I already know that people are harder on themselves than they are on anything else.
Always.
So, and in that discipline, learning to be forgiving. I've really had to learn how to forgive myself, because I'll feel horrible. Like there was one day I just could not make it out of my apartment to class. And no matter what I tried, I just couldn't make it off the couch. And in the moment, I was very upset with myself. Like, come on, dude. Cause I only have classes Monday and Wednesday. So it's really tough for me when I do miss a day. Cause I'm like, you literally only have to go for 2 days.
Right.
But learning to just understand, your body's trying to tell you,
right.
We can't today. And you have to accept that, and then comes in that communication piece with just vocalizing that with professors, with employers, with friends, with family. Right now, I just can't. And a big thing for me too is finding those people, or finding yourself in spaces where people are accepting to mental health and mental issues. I tell my mom all the time, because obviously I have tattoos, so that's always been a big thing. What if your employer doesn't want tattoos? Well, then that's not where I'm going to work. Right. And I feel the same way. I feel the same way about mental health. If my employer isn't willing to be understanding, obviously I'm not going to be like, yeah, every other day of the week.
Right. But sometimes you need that. You need that time, sometimes, and your body will always tell you when you need a break. The problem is that some people don't listen when their body is just like, sit down, and they keep going, and then it creates one day your body is gonna sit
you down. And that's what happened to me. My body was like, okay, we need to sit down. I was like, no, I'm good. And then here in the last home stretch, it said, I said sit down, dude.
Right.
Sit down. So and that's why I say, don't let yourself get to the burnout point, because it's not fun. Because as rough as you think it is, when you take a day or so to rehabilitate, having to take a week, a month to kind of refine yourself, realign yourself, it's not fun. Especially as someone that, for me personally, as someone that prides themselves on being so I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna let me do this, let me get this done. Especially someone that prides themselves in being burnt out. And it was very awkward for me to have those conversations with people, because like I said, the disappointment factor, I'm sorry, I've completely dropped the ball, take full accountability, but
right
there, my body, my mental wants to get everything done, but my body's just like,
no, thank you. We need a break.
Body's
we need a break.
And it's
so I'm gonna make you take one right now.
It's tough. It's tough. But most definitely, like I said, finding yourself in places where people are understanding of that is the most important thing.
That's real. That's very real. I hope y'all are paying attention to these jewels that the Second Grand is dropping, because it doesn't matter what your age is. Stress is stress, and everybody goes through stressful periods, and everybody has been going through all kinds of stress these last couple of years due to COVID. So please pay attention to your bodies. If your body is telling you something, listen to it, because it can turn from something mild to something extreme, so take those time, take that time, make sure you take the time for yourself. Whatever your self-care is, do that. If it's sleeping in, if it's, streaming a show all day, if it's going out for a walk, if it's reading a book, if it's listening to music, whatever it is, take that time for yourself, because self-care, mental self-care, everything, it is necessary. It is necessary. So I'm glad that you said that, because it doesn't matter what your age is, but mental health and self-care are two very real things. So now, what has been your best moment in the sisterhood so far?
I automatically know. I would say we last July in 2021, we had a board of directors meeting in Indianapolis. And it was just spectacular. Like, I was living my dream. And I had the opportunity to get to meet some of our past Grand Basileus. I got to sit in and listen and kind of watch in motion, like, the business of the sisterhood and the process of it. And not only that, but like get to really listen to the women that serve and in our leadership team, and just how it was just ridiculous to me. And I use ridiculous not in like a negative way, but it was ridiculous to me. Like, I was like, these women are brilliant. Like, such brilliant women that really are so passionate about our organization. I was able to go to the Irving campus and see where it all started. And I know that there's a lot of people who don't get to experience things like this. So I 100% never take it for granted. I work in an office on campus, and I think there's only one lady in the office that isn't a member of the Divine Nine. And, everyone else has never seen where it all went down. And, I'm 21 getting to see stuff that they're, in their 40s, 50s have never been able to see. So that opportunity was 100% not taken for granted. And we played myself and the YSCs were able to lead I guess you would say a team bonding. I don't really know what they titled it as on the itinerary. I'm not even gonna, they was just like, we're just gonna let these girls speak about something. we were able to lead a game, and we played song association with everybody.
Oh, nice.
And so it started out really fun, and then we used the word SG Rho, or Sigma Gamma Rho, as one of the song association. And, I know a few chants. I know a little undergrad stuff, but being able to just listen to all the, like I learned Sigma Line from Madam Parliamentarian. And I was like, and immediately I was like, I texted my chapter and I was like, the next time we have a neophyte show, I don't care where it's at in it, somebody's going to be singing Sigma Line. Because I was just listening to just all the knowledge and experience. And it was crazy to me. Like, I was like, people don't get to, see this at such a young age within their membership. And it was just absolutely wild to me. So I would most definitely think my highest moment and the best experience was just that. I can't even say a singular moment. Was just that whole trip, because I was eating it up. I was like a little sponge just eating it up. I was like, anything if y'all just want to sit over here and tell me about your family history, I'll sit here and listen. I was just eating it up. I love it.
I love it. So when I was still in my undergrad days, there was this company, which I don't know if they still exist, but they had these CDs of like chants and songs for every organization in D9. And like, I knew Sigma Line because I learned Sigma Line, when I was in undergrad or whatever, but that song was on the CD. If I can find it, I'm gonna make a copy and bring it to US Centennial, because it had like 30 something tracks on it, and it had all kinds of chants and different songs and stuff. and some historical like things that are like public knowledge type of stuff. But if I can find it, I'm gonna make a copy and bring it to you, because Sigma Line is on there along with a couple of other like chants that I love and some other songs. And I'm just like, now you got me thinking. I was like, I wonder where that CD is. I'm gonna see if
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can find it, because it's like it's not something that's like really publicized anymore. But yeah, I can only imagine like being in one of those, board meetings. It's just like my mind is blown. And there is
Yeah.
a tour during Centennial. For all of you all that will be in attendance, the countdown is coming up at the end, so stick around for that. But there's going to be a tour during the Centennial celebration in July. And then there's also an event to go to visit all of the founders' grave sites, because the only one that isn't buried in Indianapolis is founder Little. She's buried in California because that's where she passed away. But I'm looking forward to that too. But yeah, Sigma Line, I love that song. So
I
and
was
didn't
like,
know which way to go till I heard it.
I was like, what? I
Yeah.
was just eating it up. I was like, this is real.
Yeah,
This is
it's real. It's real.
and
That is the real thing.
oh, and getting to do, no one can do it like we can with Madam
Mm-hmm.
Grand Basilisk and past Grand Basilisk, Deborah Catching Smith. I was like, I'm like, this is crazy. It was so fun.
Yeah, I can only imagine that was a really good time. And it's like one thing that one of my goals and desires was from wanting to do this show was that people will get to see another side of, sorors that are in leadership, because most of the time when most sorors see, everybody's at a conference, everybody is in just like business mode.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
let's get to see the other side of, people that we put in office. So, that's like a behind the scenes, closed door type of thing that unless you're there, you would never see it anyway. So I'm glad that you have had that experience.
Yeah, it was.
What advice would you give to graduate members that are welcoming newly graduate sorors into their chapters?
I would really recommend to be mindful of undergraduates' time within membership. Because I know I joined my freshman year. So
Okay.
I feel like I've had my head, I've been in the game for a minute, I already feel like an old head walking around on campus. And but I know that experience isn't true for a lot of undergraduates. My chapter alone, I know that we've brought in and graduated out a few members within the same semester. So just I feel like as a graduate chapter, remembering that mentorship is key for us undergrads, and being open to, I don't want to say mistakes, but understanding that there are mistakes that will be made. So I would say most definitely as a grad chapter, just remembering, although we are, women, we're still, you might have 10, 20, 30 years on me in the organization. And there's things that me at 3 years in, I'm like, well, this is the knowledge that I've gained over this time, but there's still so much to learn. And I think just being not necessarily coddling and not hand holding, but just being patient is the most important thing. Because I know me personally, I wouldn't feel welcomed in a place that immediately like just starts calling out where you're not doing that right. Who taught you that? Because this ain't how we do it, and just stuff like that. But just understanding that undergraduates are graduating with within membership, from anywhere 3 to a month or a couple of weeks into the sisterhood. So just being very understanding of, the learning curve. Because I already know when I go to grad chapter, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna need you. There's a few things that I missed along the way that I need a little clarification about. But I would most definitely say just really being patient. And I would say having that conversation with an undergraduate of like, what do you think, like, what do you see this experience being like for you? Because, you know, people come in with different wants. Like me personally, I'm really excited to join grad chapter to, you know, really be more focused on service events. Because in undergrad, not that service isn't a priority, but it's a lot more social.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to actually get in and do some work that helps out the community. So, and just having those conversations, like, what do you not know coming in that you feel like you need to know? What can I answer about my transition? Just stuff like that, I feel like would be a lot more welcoming, instead of just having an undergraduate apply for your chapter. Okay, next chapter meeting, welcome, this is her. This is how, get the ball rolling.
Right.
So I most definitely think having those conversations and really seeing what the undergraduate knows coming in and what they feel like they should know in the transition period, and then even post transition period, just be very understanding of the curve, and being patient is a big deal.
Well, patience is a virtue, and it's also one of the 12 things to remember. So just saying, you know, the power of patience, or the 11 things to remember, but the power of patience is one. So that's a great point, because, you know, we all need patience from time to time, and show a little grace to these undergrads that are graduating and then transitioning to the grad chapter, because we all need grace from time to time. So show a little grace. That's just my message, and I am also talking to myself. Okay. So we're coming up on our last question, which is, if you had the opportunity to have a conversation with any of the founders, which one would you pick and what would you ask her?
That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I'm the worst with picking. So I'll just go ahead and put that out there.
Okay.
Like I can't pick a favorite color. I can't pick a movie. I can't pick. It's not a skill of mine. That is a tough one. I feel like there's different conversations I would want to have with each one.
Okay.
I don't want to be, you know, stereotypical and say founder little, but
there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer to this question. So I have been asking this question the past like 10 or 11 episodes. There is no wrong answer to this question. So if you want to say founder little, you can. Several others have said her. You know, we've had a few Cubinas, we had a few Dorothy. So it's there's no wrong answer.
I would have to probably say founder little. And I mean, this question's the question that I would ask them first holds true for any of the 7. Just how? 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 Like, that's the only question I could, that's probably all that I'd be able to stumble out in nervousness, but how? Like, 1922, like, there, as a woman, like, how? Like, not even as a woman, as a Black woman in this very, very racist country, very misogynistic country. How? Because like the thought, like just the thought. Like I said, I was able to go to the campus and we walked past, who knows what his name is and who cares what it is.
Right.
But
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But he's irrelevant. He's irrelevant.
Yeah, who cares what his name is? We ain't even gonna say it. We ain't even gonna try to say it.
Who cares?
But walking past, I had the chance to kind of go over there, and walking past it, like I know I'm hard-headed. I know I'm hard-headed, and I know that I would have persevered had I had to, but luckily I don't have to. But just I couldn't even imagine putting myself in their shoes. Like the determination, the want to, the will to, the I'm going to that they had to have as women. Because I mean, I could be wrong. I love my history, but I could be wrong. I'm 99% sure women weren't really accepted at that time to be educated. Really, like that was still kind of a far-fetched.
It was.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
So you're fighting the fact that people don't want you educated just simply because of your anatomy. And two, people don't want you educated simply, once again, because of your anatomy as a skin color. And then on top of that, you have a man who, builds his home to replicate a slave house. Not even, I can't even say down the street, like 10 steps away from where you're meeting to cultivate this organization that in 10 years has grown, to motivate women, not even within the US, but globally. I that's probably the only question I would be able to get out is just how. How did you get yourself motivated to do this? How did you stick through? How did you see it through? We're not over there at Howard with everybody else. We're over here. We're not at Howard with people that are like us either.
Right.
We're over here with people who don't want us here in the first place.
Right.
In a very, very racist place. I'd be completely dumbfounded, and I'd be like, I'm just gonna ask how. You take that question how you want to, and you run with it. I'm gonna sit here and listen. Whatever you want to explain by that, by all means.
I love it. I mean, how is a great question. It is by itself, because how can take you everywhere with the origins of us beginning. So it's not a bad question. I like it.
I wouldn't be able to really get anything else. I feel like I mean, maybe as the conversation went on, questions would form, but as far like being able to sit with any of the founders, I wouldn't know anything else to start with. But how? Because it's so crazy. Like, it's just so crazy to me. 100 years ago, like, it's been 100 years. I'm 3 years into that 100. There's been so much change, not only within the organization, but like globally. Like, how? Just how? How did you start, maintain, and grow such an organization? It's just crazy to me. Like I could
phenomenal
not imagine.
Women. That's just phenomenal women. They were just trailblazers all the way, all 7. Just I'm with you, because sometimes I just like, I don't even know what my question would be to any of them. It's just like, I'm just so in awe of all of the things that they did, and like, look what you created. So it's just like I'm
a product of it's almost like I'm a product of your success. Like, what do I say to you? Like, what?
Right. Thank you. That's like, thank you. That's all I could come.
They like, I don't know, and that
doesn't even seem like it's enough. So
at all. Like, I am a product of your success, and I love this organization with my heart. So without you, it's just crazy to me to like really sit back and think about it. Right. And how easy they could have just been like, you know what? There's already 3. We're good.
Yeah, we're not gonna do
this. And they didn't. And it's so amazing to me.
Yeah, I agree. I am totally on board with everything that you just said. So we're going to get into our countdown now, from the airing of this episode, which is May 26th. We are 47 days away from the start of our July celebration, which begins on July 12th in Indianapolis, Indiana. I will be there. Madam Second Grand will be there, along with several other sorors, gents, Philo's friends, rowers, rosebuds, everybody. We have 6,000. We are at capacity, and I'm pretty sure there will be more than 6,000 people because there are a lot of people, a lot of sorors that are going to be social delegates. I'm not afraid to admit that that has been me before. I'm just saying, you know, it happens. And I am so looking forward to seeing everybody. So we will see you in 47 days. Now, we are also 170 days away from our November 12th celebration where we turn 100, and we will be on the campus of Butler University at midnight. That's where I'll be. I'm speaking for me now. I'll be on the campus of Butler University at midnight singing Sigma Gamma Rho, our hymn, because that's what's in my heart. And I cannot wait until we get there. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I would like to give a shout out to my mom because today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Mom, if you're watching, which you probably aren't, but I love you. So for our next episode, we have another special guest. She's from Northeast region, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna tell you is that's where she's from, and that's that. So I would like to thank the Second Grand for coming on the show again today, and her special guest, Oh Boy, who has graced us with his presence. Thank you, Oh Boy. We appreciate you for stopping by as well, and you know,
kudos.
Yeah, sharing the spotlight with her because you really tried to become the star and take over the show, and I'm not mad at it. My name is Sora Lauren T. Bates, life member number 1704. Hit me up on Instagram at Lauren Talise or on Facebook at L Talise Bates. And I am the Centennial Anti-Basileus for Zeta Zeta Sigma, which is my new and permanent forever home chapter. I love you all. And we are winding down. We only have 2 more episodes this season. And hopefully we will be back for a season 2, which I believe that we will. So we're still working on the logistics for that, but I'll keep you all posted. So thanks again to Second Grand, and we will see you all in 2 weeks. Bye.